Goalie wants me to say something. What is up, guys? Welcome to the stream. Welcome to the STiKS. You guys know I never, ever, ever start the show professionally. That's just the way I roll. It really drives my producer, Goalie TV, crazy. Shout out to him. Thanks, Goalie, for doing all this. So we're going to jump right into the stream today. I am going to do the silly introductions that we normally do, but we're going to jump right into the stream because league matches start in the next like 30 to 40 minutes. And so we want to make sure we give you guys a full preview of what's going to happen tonight, our predictions of who's going to finish in the top 8 in the league and things like that. And also get you guys a little bit of exposure. We get to ask some questions of Matt, UMG Matt, a.k.a., as you might formerly known as, I guess.
The artist formerly known as, yeah.
The artist formerly known as Complexity Coach, EG Coach. And we're going to ask him what the heck happened and why he's not on EG anymore. So hopefully he will come out of silence and tell us.
Yeah, I'll probably answer that.
All right, that sounds sweet. So you guys are going to go around. We're going to do what we normally do, just be a little quick about it. But we're going to you guys are going to introduce yourself. You're going to say what organizations you're currently a part of in the Call of Duty community. And I want you to say if you could drop any player from Optic, or Envy, from those 3 teams, who you would drop and who you would replace them with. And I'm going to start with Hitch. I'm going to go to Fatty, and then we'll do Matt, and then myself.
Hey.
What's up, guys? My name is Hitch. I do YouTube videos sometimes and try to do other things other times. And who would I drop from Optic, or Envy? Nobody. I don't know. You can't put me on the spot like that.
Oh, come on. You got to give an answer.
An answer to...
All right, you got to drop one player from Optic Nation. Who you dropping?
One? No, not... Optic Nation is the best team in the game. All right, so we're gonna drop someone from Envy. So we're gonna drop Formal so that he can start his own Halo/Destiny squad.
Everybody
and
tweet
just
it out. Hitch
win
is
money.
dropping Formal. He said
just win money, and then they're gonna pick up Crimson.
pick up who?
Crim 6. Crim 6.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Crim 6. All right. I thought you said it quietly on purpose. All right, Fatty, what's up?
Wow, I'm Smiling Fatty, your short fat friend. I would drop. Oh shoot. I would drop Embos from Optic Nation and replace him with me because Optic Fatty sounds way better.
At least you with the
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I don't know, man. That's a tough question. So yeah, that's just so I can get the glory of being an Optic.
Okay.
Jeez.
Matt.
All right, I'm Matt. Mr. X, Matt, whatever the hell you want to call me. Formerly Complexity, former EG player, caster, now event coordinator, developer relations expert. And I would drop Clayster from Optic Gaming, replace him with STiKS, and have Nadeshot turn into a bad guy and team up with STiKS and have Optic Gaming be like the bad squad out of everybody. That would never happen.
Wow, that would never
But
happen.
that would be the most ridiculous thing that ever happened.
I think that might be the one player everybody used to think that Killa was the one player that would never be on Optic. But I think STiKS has definitely taken over that spot.
Oh yeah. Pat'll never be on Optic. That'll never happen.
That just won't happen. Oh, they're sad because you dropped Clayster. All right, so my name is Kingdom Soldier, and I do some stuff with G Fuel sometimes, Gamma. My show will be up on G Fuel tomorrow to recap tonight's matches and talk about the remaining matches and the rest of this week in UMG, but I'll do it in less than 6 minutes somehow. I also do the STiKS, and I do some stuff on YouTube. If I had to drop someone from one of those 3 teams, I would drop someone from Optic Gaming. I would drop Clayster as well. And I would replace him with Karma. Or Krim. One of those two. I would get one of those two on the team. I think Hex seemed very excited about the possibility of Karma when he was on the show last week, so I would want to make that happen. Nothing against Clayster, I just think that he hasn't been in his prime on Ghost towards the end of this game.
Yeah.
I know the meta has changed, but maybe he'll be better in AW. I don't know. All right, so we're gonna get started with the show. We got some questions for Mr. X, formerly known as Mr. X, the artist currently known as UMG Matt. But we're gonna get to those questions in a moment. I'm gonna run down really quickly, kind of some of the where we're currently at in the league season 3. If I say something wrong, the three of you are just feel free to correct me, because I'm going to run this down really fast, and then we're going to look at tonight's matches, and I'm going to ask you guys to predict who's going to be left at the end of the day. So right now, so every team in the league plays 44 matches, and everybody is almost done. No one could have ever predicted that we would have 5 confirmed teams and 6 teams on the bubble. And if Justice Pro, is Big Snacks in the chat yet?
I don't know, but he needs to get Justice Pro on their game because they're not playing too well.
If Justice Pro wasn't such a detriment as a team, this would be even more exciting. But they've lost like 107 maps, and the only team close to them in the opposite of winning column is Envy, who's won over 100. So, and Rise might get there, but I doubt it. I think Envy's going to end up with the best map count at the end of the day.
Yeah.
And so you've got 6 teams that are on the bubble. The 5 teams that are confirmed are Optic Nation, Optic Gaming, Rise, Envy, and FaZe. And then the 6 teams that are on the bubble are Noble, TK, EG, Most Wanted, Denial, and Curse. And so those 6 teams are on the bubble. They all could make it, and they all have the possibility of not making it. And so the matches even that take place tonight are very important when it comes to Curse's matches, TK's matches, and EG's matches to determine who is going to make it into the playoffs, where, of course, the prize pool is $70,000. Every single team gets money in the prize pool, and the top team, number 1, gets $30K. So this is a really good invitational. It's guaranteed to be good matches for all of us that are spectators. So to give you guys a little tiny breakdown of what could happen, so Most Wanted, which is currently right behind FaZe, they're 21-21. They have 2 matches left on Tuesday. They only need to win 1 to qualify, because if they have 22 losses, there's all the other teams already have over 22 losses. So if they can just win 1 of their 2 remaining matches, they'll be good to go. The important thing is one of their remaining matches on Tuesday tomorrow is against Noble, who is also trying to make it. And if they beat Most Wanted tomorrow, will be 3-0 against Most Wanted, and would have the 1-up against Most Wanted, because Most Wanted plays Rise and Noble tomorrow. So Denial right behind them, they're 20-20. They have 4 matches left. It is still possible, if they lose out, for Denial to end with 20-24 and to be tied with a team like TK if they win their last 2 matches. And I don't know the exact head-to-head count on those 2 teams. And so Denial just needs to win 2 of their 4, and they're in for sure. Noble and Curse are both 19-23. So tonight is important for Curse. If Curse loses 1 of their 2 matches tonight, they put Noble in a position to just knock them out. They have to, in my opinion, win both of their matches, which are going to be some tough ones, and we'll talk about those in a moment. But if they tie with Noble again, Noble in the head-to-head, I don't know how Noble's beaten all these teams, and nobody was paying attention, but Noble in the head-to-head are 3-0 over Curse. So the last 2 teams are TK and EG. These are the 2 teams that everybody really wants to see make it. We're pretty sure that Most Wanted and Denial are probably going to make it in, unless they really just lose all their matches. TK, Curse, EG, and Noble win all their matches. That's pretty much the only way Most Wanted and Denial won't make it. And so there is a chance. But the 2 teams that everybody's interested in is TK and EG. These are top 8 LAN teams, regardless of some previous events. I would still rate both of these teams as top 8 LAN teams, in my opinion. And they're both on the bubble. TK is really close to just being out. They have the most losses right now in the league, except for Justice Pro, which has 33. But they have 24 losses. They have 2 matches tonight, which if they win both of those matches, they'll still be just tied, basically. They'll still be 1 loss behind Curse and Noble. So they need one of those guys to lose, or both of them. And then you have EG sitting at 17-23. Somehow the COD gods made it so that EG has more matches left than anybody else, well, with the exception of Denial. And it really could come down, and I'm going to ask these guys about that in a second. It really could come down to EG's match against Justice Pro on Wednesday. It could come down to if they lose against Justice Pro,
That's no
they're
way.
out. It's possible. If they win the next 3, if they win their 3 remaining matches, which are going to be tough because it's Envy, Optic Nation, and Rise, if they somehow just pull it together, which composure-wise doesn't seem like they have it right now, but if they do, they will place higher than Noble and Curse because of the head-to-head and the map count, because their map count actually is better than a lot of the teams in the top 8. And so if EG can win out and get to Justice Pro, it may come down to beat Justice Pro for the playoffs or lose to Justice Pro for Noble and or Curse to make it. So, and I think Curse is going to have to wait. If EG wins tonight, both their matches, Curse is going to have to wait till EG's matches on Wednesday to know whether or not they made it if they win both their matches tonight. So I know that sounded confusing.
You just said a lot of things.
I know I did.
Them's a lot of words.
I didn't want to take too much time doing it. So
I heard them all. I heard all the words.
Good. Thanks. You're a good listener. That's because you're a caster. No offense, Mighty Patty.
Yep.
Oh,
Yeah,
whoa!
Dude,
First hex last week. Oh, my
what
career
did
is over.
what did Hector say to you, Smiting?
Oh no, I was just like, hey, if you ever need a short fat caster, yeah, we don't. And then I'm like, you could get Ego.
And then he said he would call Ego. Yeah, you were like call Ego. That was a good recovery there.
Yeah.
All right. So what I want to do with you guys is, first of all, I want to ask about tonight's matches, and then, but I first want to kind of go around and ask you guys, who is going to be? There's 5 teams in right now. They're locked. They're in for sure. Those teams can't be taken away. There are 3 spots left, and there's 6 teams that could get those spots. Who do you guys see actually landing in the last 3 spots in the Call of Duty League? And for those of you guys that are watching, if you want to figure out where I got some of this information, I went to COD Esportspedia. Their website is located at the bottom of the screen during some of what we're talking about. You'll see it on there. I can't tell because of the stream delay if it's up there right now, but you guys will see it. But if you go to COD Esportspedia, they have everything on their wiki. And I went there and was able to review the head-to-head counts and everything. So that helped me figure out the possibilities. And yes, it is possible, if all goes correctly, that somehow we could have 5 teams with the exact same record, and it would all come down to head-to-head and map count. And that is not going to be fun for MLG if that happens. But
that would not be fun.
It's possible. And basically everybody needs to win out. And I think Denial needs to lose 2 or 3. So I don't think Denial's going to go 1 and 3. But go ahead. What were you going to say, Matt?
What's kind of crazy is that there would probably be 6 teams automatically qualified, because didn't Noble start 0-8 because they didn't have a team and they were just forfeiting all those matches? I believe their record before they picked up Sender and them was 0-8.
Really?
It was they were, yes, because they qualified and it was Nifty, Chino, Miyagi, and another. I want to say Gucci, and that team just fell apart, and they were 0-8, just forfeiting, and then Noble bought them, put this team in, and then they started going on that run. So if those guys don't start out 0-8, they're probably already qualified. So those last...
Wait, are you talking about Noble?
Yeah, Noble would probably be already qualified. If they didn't start 0-8, they would probably at least have went even in that.
You're right, yeah.
So you're adding another... you're taking away 4 losses and another 4 wins. It's difficult. Like, EG controls their own destiny, so to speak. But their matches are, I think, the hardest out of everybody. It's it's Denial, Envy, Rise, and whatever 4 people Rick can put together.
Denial actually has the hardest route, only because instead of playing Justice Pro, they have to play Optic Gaming. EG doesn't play Optic Gaming. They play Nation, Rise, Envy, and Justice.
Okay.
Denial has to beat 2 of the 4 teams, the top 4 teams in the league. They have to beat 2 of them in their remaining 4 matches.
I think Denial... See, I would love to know who has hosts for like a lot of these matchups.
That's a good question. Yeah.
That's not a factor.
It's not a factor. Right?
No. Call of Duty hosts.
Because you have... I think Krim and Dito are over on the West Coast now with Teep. Aches doesn't have the best internet in North Carolina, so if they play Denial and they end up on like a Chicago host, like Renato's host, like that could be pretty bad.
Well, and Aches has been playing at the Envy House, but I'm guessing he's not going to play
No,
against
they're not.
Envy
They're
in
not
the
going to let
Envy
them.
House.
Yeah, that would be a really odd move by Envy.
Well, he'd probably push somebody after they lost.
Oh,
No pun intended.
I think TK will probably be on the outside looking in.
Yeah.
I think that's kind of how my gut feels.
Who else do you guys see? So, out of the teams that are left, who do you guys see not making it? So, you've got Most Wanted, Denial. They have the best chance because in the loss column, they're games above everybody else. I mean, they just have to. Most Wanted needs to win 1 game. Denial needs to win 2 out of their 4. Noble and Curse have the same record basically as EG, but EG has 4 games left instead of 2 games left. So in the loss column, Noble, Curse, and EG all are the same. And Curse is the team that would get bumped if they all ended with the same. Does anybody feel like EG is going to make it?
I think somehow they do. Like, do I feel confident on it? Like, not at all.
Yeah.
But I just think there's somehow they just end up. I mean, they could even lose the match and end up in a tie and get in that way. I think in some weird way they end up finding themselves there. I don't think it's going to be easy though. I think their match against Envy, they play Envy and Rise tonight, or they play Nation and Envy tonight.
And Nation tonight.
I mean, both of those will be pretty difficult matches.
And they're going to be well-watched matches, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Those Envy teams are going to be flooded.
And I mean, both of those teams are going to go pretty hard because they probably don't want EG to be there.
Oh, yeah. That's why I don't get how people talked about them getting. People were saying they probably let them because they want it. I was like, why would you want the winningest team of the last year and a half to be in a $70,000 tournament with you?
But is it the winningest team anymore?
Yes.
it still is, yeah.
Yes,
by
far.
Yeah.
Their average win is 1.78.
Yeah, their average.
No. I'm not talking about. I mean, just the fact that it's not the core 4 anymore. Like, just the fact that Karma is not.
Well, I mean, even if you look at what Karma did before he was there, he still won a lot of games. Won a championship. He won like 5 in a row with Parasite and them.
Yeah, they won like 4.
Yeah, 4 or 5.
I don't know how EG. I mean, I'm probably not the one to talk about this, but like, how is EG looking with Dito? Like, are they?
They're not consistent, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So how do you think they'll be on land?
Oh, I forgot.
I mean, Dito. I think if you were to go back and look at it, Dito's been one of the best players on Ghost and one of the more consistent players.
100%.
I mean.
Dito's a monster.
When EG lost for that first time at US Regionals, I mean, Dito and Saints were probably the best 2 people there. Like, going into champs, like, they were the 2 best players outside of the 4 EG players and, like, Scump.
Yeah.
I would say.
I screwed that up. I just realized I was thinking Karma was on EG. I forgot about that.
Yep. He actually left EG.
Yeah. Just this morning, right?
I
had a long week. I had a really long week. No.
All right, so I'm going to call out tonight's matches, and I'm going to ask each of you to tell me who's going to win. So, first up is Optic Nation versus TK. Fatty, who wins?
Is Sharp at his new place with the better internet?
I think so, yeah. He's been doing videos from there.
I think Nation wins. I think Nation's just too strong right now. They got that whole clap thing going on, like Hitch always says in his video. They all can, like, do that thing, and that means they're together.
That video is hilarious.
That was a great video.
So, Hitch, because you are now Hitch TK, I'm guessing TK is going to win this match?
TK all day.
No bias at all right there.
But they're going to have to match up with the GOAT chemistry of Optic Nation, so it's going to be an interesting game. I'll probably stop in and see that one.
So, Matt, I'm guessing you would say Nation would win this match?
Yeah, I would say Nation would win this one.
What is wrong with TK? Like, what happened? Like, in your opinion? I'm just asking.
For them, it's just, like, Sharp's internet, man. Like, I got, like, as much as that, like, stinks to say, like, he's in Kentucky, like, he can't, like, he just can't get good enough internet as everybody else. And
he's too far away from the McDonald's to pick up the good Wi-Fi.
Online, it's like, I mean,
That's
they're
really what it is.
if you look at them, they're like a really spread out team. Like I think Sharp is in Kentucky, June is in Canada. I don't know. I mean, you could be in Canada when I look at a map. It's just a whole big thing. But he's somewhere up there. And then I think Theory is upstate New York, and I believe Neslo is in
New
like the
Jersey.
tri-state area too, New Jersey. So, I mean, they really don't have an advantage for anybody if they're hosting. So they kind of lose out on that. And then Sharp obviously doesn't have the best internet as well. I think they kind of lose on that end too. So now online just really isn't made for them.
So on LAN, are they still a top 18?
Yeah, absolutely. I don't think anyone would argue that. I mean, I think Ghost has been kind of. I don't want to say Ghost has even been bad for them. Ghost has just been up and down for them.
Yeah.
But I think that's more to do with the game than the actual players.
Okay. So EG versus Envy. I'll start with you, Matt. Who wins?
Ooh. I think if EG were to lose one of their matches tonight, it'll be this one. If Envy has host, that'll be a tough one for them to pull out, being that 3 of them are West Coast and then all the way North Carolina host. If Envy has host, Envy will win. If Envy doesn't have host, Envy will win.
All right. Host is the defining factor.
Yeah, with that, it definitely is that match is the defining factor. Yeah.
Hitch, who's gonna win this match? EG or Envy?
Envy.
Actually.
Okay.
Oh, EG does have host. Hold on, I can pull up the maps too. Let's see the maps.
Where do you find the maps at?
I mean, like,
tweeted it yesterday.
Yeah, and I keep getting spammed with emails. Evidently I'm not taken off the manager list for EG.
Nice.
So every day I get the emails apps and I delete them.
You
So
can just forward them to me.
hopefully I didn't delete this one, and I did. But if EG has host, that's good for them. They'll have the West Coast guys host to win that match then.
Doesn't that mean Formal's just that much better though? Because he's on that West Coast too.
He's in the Envy house now.
Oh, is he? Oh, I knew that. I'm so slow.
You're
Dude, I had the worst week ever, but other than that, it's great. Life is great.
I've had the worst week ever, but other than that, everything's great.
Well, it's I'm healthy, I'm short, I'm fat, I got family. I couldn't ask for anything more.
Yeah.
It's just I had I had a whole week where I couldn't look at YouTube or watch anything, and it was dreadful. No, just kidding.
All right.
I think EG will take that if they have host. EG will take
can Curse beat FaZe to stay alive in the league, or are they done?
Yeah, they can beat FaZe.
Will they tonight?
I guess it all just depends which Curse team shows up. I mean, we've seen them be dominant, and then we've seen them be Dallas. We've seen them we've seen 2 different Curse teams. So I don't know. It all just depends on if they are actually getting along that day, and if they're, if their guns goes on point. In my opinion.
So their chances of winning are maybe.
Yeah, you kind of threw that one in the air.
Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, they could win.
So it doesn't have anything to do with FaZe's ability? It's really Curse beating themselves? I think, in my opinion, I think FaZe is the better team between these two teams. They have the better roster, I guess.
Yeah, I do too. But I just think whenever if Curse is clicking, then they have the ability to beat them. But if they're not clicking, then they're just going to get.
They have no chance. Yeah.
Also, Damon, I think, is playing from a timeshare on Wi-Fi, and he doesn't even have a chair, so I think he's just sitting on the floor playing. So,
but he's Damon,
right? But he is Damon. Coach Maven probably at the Curse house. Having some drinks, pumping those guys up. Definitely a factor. That match, I think Curse will actually win that one. I feel that's actually one of the matches I feel confident on. Yeah.
If it happens, I'm tweeting it out.
Yeah.
So then let me skip to the last match. Is Curse going to also beat TK and keep their hope alive and kill TK's hope? I'm asking you, Matt.
I see Curse going 2-0 tonight.
Oh,
I have
all
a
right.
feeling about that. I think they have like great team internet, and for some reason, like those guys don't like each other. Like they don't like playing with each other, but
Yeah,
they just work. For some reason, I don't know. Like I mean, you got Barnes. They're just like an odd team. But like I don't know. I just like those guys. Like I think I think they'll pull out 2 out tonight. They've been actually hot as of late.
yeah, that's true. They have. That's. I was watching. Puckett did a recap Friday about it, and they uploaded it to the MLG CoD channel today, and I was watching it.
Yeah.
And Curse definitely had a good week last week.
Yeah, no, they've been playing well.
They didn't pull any O2s, with the exception of EG did pull some O2s. So, Fatty does in the Optic Nation versus EG match. Who wins that?
Oh, I would have to say, let's see. Optic Nation has the host, right?
Probably, yeah. The way they listed it, it would.
Yeah, the
I
way
think,
it's listed right here, it looks like they
Yeah.
do. I say Optic Nation wins. But that saying that though, like those core three guys on EG, it seems like anytime you count them out, they push through and they do something crazy and win. So we'll see. But I would put money on Optic Nation
You would put money on Optic Nation?
if I was that type of person. Yeah.
Wow. Okay, so if I'm hearing you all correctly, and you guys said a lot of similar stuff, even though you were very vague with deciding, it sounds like, based on tonight's placings, in your opinion as a group, we're looking at the last 3 teams being EG, Denial, and Most Wanted, and Noble, Curse, and TK are out.
Oh, that's so weird to say that though.
Yes.
TK's not out.
So wait, if Curse can go 2-0 tonight, and TK can go, and TK can
2-0.
still make it. Oh, no, TK
Only
is
if
out as
Noble
well.
loses on tomorrow.
Oh, so that will come down tomorrow.
And not only would Noble have to lose for TK to make it, EG would need to lose 2.
TK
and I
needs
think
a lot
that
of
would
help.
put them in 8th. They need some
Yeah,
teams
they need
to
a lot of
lose.
help.
Like they need Optic Nation, Optic Gaming, Rise, and Envy to beat everybody else. They need those
Which is
teams to
doable.
win instead of the losing teams winning. The winning teams need to win, but
Yeah.
they know they're in. So who knows if they're going to come with that,
Fine.
kind of fierce.
I think they
Maybe
would.
they want a Noble at LAN instead of a TK. I mean, and this is where that kind of conversation
Yeah.
comes into play. Like, do you try as hard if you know that you're helping Team Caliber get into the top 8?
Yeah, I mean that's.
I would
if was
think you'd
on
want
one
him to
of
stay
those-
home.
Yeah, if I was on one of those teams, damn right I want him to stay home.
I mean, it's just a thought. Like I'm not saying they're gonna throw a game, but I am saying that
They could
EG
lose
and
one that could
TK
be winnable.
What'd you say?
They could lose one that could be winnable.
Yeah.
Well, let's look at the games that Noble has. They're playing Justice. They're on host.
And they're playing Most Wanted.
And then they're playing Most Wanted off hosts. So what happens if they go 1-1?
Which team are they losing to? Most Wanted?
Yeah.
Then they're probably
or
out.
just because Snacks is in the chat, Justice.
If they lose to Justice, they're probably out.
If
They
Justice
need to
runs the
beat-
table, can they make it?
They need Most Wanted to lose both games. They need Most Wanted to lose twice, so they'll be 21 and 23, and Noble needs to win both so that they're 21 and 23, and then they'll beat them in head-to-head, and they can qualify.
How many wins does Justice need?
Really?
47.
Oh,
No, they need like 19 or 18 wins out of their next 4 matches.
Rick, you guys have been eliminated.
sorry, Rick.
That was all Matt. Rick's gonna spam me on Twitter.
Love Rick.
This is why I don't have Rick on the show, because I know he's gonna cuss me out when he gets on.
I love Rick.
Yeah, Rick.
I love him too.
Yeah.
I actually watch his YouTube videos, and I've learned some stuff. But it's like my idea for some of my shows where I'm in the car was from the ride. His thing he does on his channel. So
I
anyway,
watch his car.
oh, go ahead.
I watch those videos too when he's like driving his car and he's got his cam out.
His kids in the back.
Kids in the back.
It's probably not safe, but I mean,
But nobody complains. When I did that, people were like, "You're a bad dad," and I mean, they went crazy. It's like they lost it. So, is that agreeable? Besides Hitch, because of course he can't say the TK's out, but is it agreeable that what we're saying is that Most Wanted and Denial are going to get the next 2 spots? They're most likely to, and then that last spot out of Noble, Curse, TK, and EG is going to go to Noble or EG.
It really all. I think it would come down to tonight for EG, right? If they went 0-2 tonight, I mean they're pretty much done. Right?
Yeah. If they go 0-2, they're 17-25. They're done. They can't because they can't. 19-25 isn't going to get them in. Well, if Noble and Curse lose out, then they would have the same
I guess they
record.
could.
Yeah, TK's in trouble. Like
if EG goes 1-1 tonight, then they have to win out tomorrow.
Wednesday.
Correct? Wednesday they have to win out.
Yes. They have to beat Justice and they have to but they also if they go 1-1, they need Curse and Noble to lose at least once.
Right. See, like Curse could go 2-0 tonight and EG could go 1-1 and EG's kinda
screwed. Yes. They're done. Well, no, they're not done because Noble is still there. So it depends on what Noble does. Right. And then Denial could be the number 1 detriments and lose all 4 of their remaining matches and have 24 losses as well.
That would be insane.
That can't happen. They've won so many 2Ks and 5Ks and I just don't see that happening.
Yeah,
I can see it happening.
I think Denial. They had a bad start. They've been playing pretty good lately. They just won did they just win the last 2K?
Yeah.
Well,
5K. On Sunday.
Last 5K, yeah.
Yeah, yesterday.
Well, and they're playing Optic Gaming. Yeah. They're playing Optic Gaming, and then Rise, and then Envy, and then Optic Nation. So it's not like those are 4 easy games. Those are hard games.
Just win at least 1, but if they win 2, they're good.
How do you lose that many matches with Saints? And played on the internet. Like, that's unbelievable.
I don't know.
Saints is unbelievable.
Technically, though, they've only lost 20. They'll have the best record out of any of these teams if they win out. They'll be right below FaZe. They'll be in 6th for placement. All right, so if you guys have any more questions about the MLG CoD League, you can see that the possibilities are endless. If you guys have any more questions, Big Snacks is confirming that Justice Pro is winning Nashville. If you guys have any more questions about the MLG CoD League, type it in the chat and we'll do our best to answer. Hitch says TK all day. So we're gonna move on a little bit though, and I'm gonna we're gonna take a quick commercial break, a 30-second commercial break, and then we'll be right back. And we have a couple questions for Mr. X, and then we'll slide over to UMG Nashville. All right, so welcome back, guys. That was a quick break. Thank you for watching Forza or whatever it was that was on the screen. So real quick, we're each going to kind of get some free reign at asking a question of UMG Matt. And my question is the one that we kind of alluded to at the beginning of the show. What happened with Complexity/EG? You magically left and it was just like it just happened. And
I disappeared.
There wasn't a like... Here's what happened, and they didn't say anything either. So I'm just wondering what happened. If you can,
it was kind of something that was in the process for a while. I would say it was always kind of. I mean, they always kind of knew, and like I kind of knew if I wanted to go into casting full time, I could do that. I had other opportunities to do other things full time, and when UMG approached me, I kind of went to them and I told them what the deal was and what I thought and what I wanted to do, and they were okay with it. I think. Probably a little probably a little bit of like resentment at the start. Like, obviously if I've been working with them for as long as I was to, kind of not really just leave, but I mean, it happened at, I guess, a bad time because the stuff with Damon happened at the same time.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I had already been out of EG for pretty much the entire time that Damon stuff was going on. Just wasn't like public. But I mean, there's no hard feelings from me to them. I think we're all pretty good. I mean, I don't speak to them like daily. I don't do anything with them really. I speak to Teep every once in a while. Like I'll just like shoot him a text, see what's going on. Like he'll text me back. Pat, I've spoken to very little. Krim, very little. But I mean, it didn't end really poorly. I mean, we had a lot of success together, so I don't think it's something that you're just gonna hate the other people for. But I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, to see what's going on with them now is a little bit upsetting, just because I mean, there were tons of drama, and like now, like, I mean, we're talking about them not even making like the playoffs for season 3.
Yeah.
So it's kind of crazy.
How is the next season gonna work? Will they not be in?
I don't know. I mean, that's a good question. I think they would probably. I'd imagine they'd have to qualify again.
Play in? Dang.
Imagine at Columbus they'd have to
Finish it,
requalify
yeah.
or finish in the top, whatever it is for.
Because they'll be in the open bracket, right?
I see that if it was Ghost, I would say 100%, but because it's AW, it may be different.
You said because it's AW?
Yeah, because you're changing games, they might make it a little different. Where the first season might be like an invite of whoever.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's really no land now to determine who would be the next teams. So,
That's a good point.
I mean, yeah, it'll be interesting how MLG handles that.
They're saying in the chat that you were the factor.
Yeah.
I mean,
I agree.
I'm not
You
going to say
left and then
everybody else is going to say it. I'm not going to say anything. So your guys' words.
Fatty or Hitch, you guys got a question for Mr. X?
I do.
Mr. X.
All right, Matt.
Yes, Fatty.
Where do you see yourself in 10 years? Are you still a part of esports in 10 years? What's esports look like? Where is MLG and UMG and all those things in 10 years?
In 10 years, I don't know. Esports is really odd from the standpoint that it's a business that's based on things that change yearly. That, I mean, in 3 years, Call of Duty cannot be popular, and we're talking about something completely different, and you kind of have to start it all the way from the ground up. So it's not like UMG could go pick up a random game tomorrow and it'll be as popular. It's really Call of Duty and the scene that kind of survive it. I mean, as long as the games keep coming out and people keep playing them, and the features are there, I can see esports going that far. We'll definitely need more developer support as it goes on. I think there'll definitely be more games as it goes on too. I mean, I love Call of Duty. I mean, obviously, like, I love Halo a lot. Esports isn't going to survive with just one shooting game, It'll just be too boring over time. I think there needs to be more expansion. I really would love to work in entertainment. That's kind of what I've always wanted to do, TV, movies, music, stuff like that. So if I left esports, that's probably where I would go. I mean, I thought about like managing artists for a little bit, but I think I would like to stay in esports preferably.
Hitch is a rapper. You can manage him.
That would be cool. That would be cool. We could make you like the next Macklemore.
next Macklemore.
Yeah.
What's a Macklemore? No, I'm just kidding. I'm not that old.
I still thinks Karma's on EG. No Macklemore.
Oh.
That's too bad.
All right.
Hitch, you got something?
Is it my turn?
Yeah.
Oh, I got a good one. I've been cooking this one up for a while.
Oh no.
All right, so coaches, what is it going to take?
Oh my gosh.
It's a great
Sorry.
question.
Sorry, go ahead. Pulled up the esports report, and they've got they're talking about Crim6's tweets and Teep and Dito and Eggs. Wow. All right, go ahead.
What is it going to take in order for coaches to be a viable thing in this scene? And do you see it ever happening in Call of Duty the way it was in Halo?
No, I don't think it'll happen like it was in Halo. I think that's just like a pretty honest answer. I think it was accepted. I just don't think, uh, with the way the scene is, that it'll kind of be accepted by everybody. And it's something teams have used and had a lot of success with. Something teams have used and said it wasn't really much of a difference. But I mean, I thought for Black Ops 2, it really was a difference. For Ghost, it wasn't. Like, there's really nothing I could do on Ghost besides like rotations and stuff.
And
Everything else, and yell at people and make people feel awful about themselves, Patty. But I think that it's very viable. It could be used. I still love the element. I mean, in Halo, it's like a huge element because coaches are timing your power weapons, helping on setups. But for some reason, Call of Duty just doesn't really gravitate towards it. I mean, Halo, there were a lot of coaches who were like really like loved, like the fans like loved those coaches, like Triple X, like Tally. Like I don't see it gravitating that way in Call of Duty though.
What was like? One more question. Like, was there an actual like situation or something that happened that made it where MLG was like, all right, we're done with coaches? Like, I know like I've heard like different people say different things about why coaches were banned or were not used anymore. And do you have any insight on that?
I think it has to do more with like soundproof booths and like the space in there and the crowding and how it looks on camera and shots. And I understand that. I understand that. That's why they're still allowed in open, because there's no real production there. There's soundproof booths, no soundproof booths. So you're still allowed for them in open, but then once you go into champ, they're not allowed. And another thing is they're not allowed in the online league, so they're trying to keep the rules the same. I get it. I never really fought it too hard, but I mean, it is what it is.
Right.
All right. So I'm gonna cover UMG Nashville real quick before we go to questions from Twitter. There's only like 3 or 4 of them, but
Yeah.
so what's your role at UMG Nashville? Are you like,
So-
do you have to do anything or?
Oh yeah, no. I like actually like do stuff like daily. And that's one thing I think a lot of people are confused. Like they're like, oh, you're just gonna cast like full time for UMG. Like, well, I'm technically the head of events and developer relations. So when we want to do things in a different game, I'll meet with developers. I'll coordinate with them. Show them about esports, about UMG, how we can help them. And then also for events, I worked really close with Chris and Robert on this one. Doing the floor plan. Getting some of the new features and just things we're going to have at Nashville in place, and going over overall design of the venue and how we can kind of restructure it and create more space, because Dallas was pretty crammed. I think Hitch, you were there. It's pretty crammed in Dallas. It's not going to be that way at Nashville. Kind of redid a whole floor design, so I think people are going to be really excited for the future of UMG with what they're going to see at Nashville.
Is there anything you can tell us that we're going to see at Nashville?
I can. Okay. Compared to Dallas, I would say Dallas. I think it was. Want to say it was like 11,000 square feet or 12,000 square feet. So Nashville's going to be 25.
Wow.
A bigger room. VIP lounge will be fully decked out. Lounge gear. There will be LCD TVs with the games being streamed onto those in the VIP lounge. So you won't have to kind of twist your neck, look out of the way. You'll be able to watch on those LCDs. There'll be a full bar in the VIP lounge as well. We brought back the pro player lounge. That was something a lot of the pros wanted. Pro player lounge, kind of off to the side where they can warm up, not be bothered as much. And then we have 2 streams at this event. I think with pool play, there's so many good matches. Obviously, you see some of the pools people are tweeting out. Pools are so good that you needed 2 streams. There needed to be 2 streams. So, it'll be interesting when people walk in. They kind of see the whole setup. Obviously, I haven't seen it because we didn't build it yet, but we know I have the floor plan. Like, I know where everything's going to be. It's exciting. It's going to look really good. It's going to look really good.
All right, so it sounds like Hitch, you're kind of screwed on your optic tweets. And I know you're looking forward to that.
I was not looking forward to that at all, actually. No.
Oh, you didn't want to gain another 5,000 followers or whatever it was?
That
No, it's a one-time thing.
So it has been announced, of course, that you guys are doing pool play, and
Yep.
the pools themselves, as long as MLG keeps the pro points where whoever it was, UMG Chris, whoever did it,
Yeah.
where they guessed based on the 5K that took place on Sunday, as long as that's accurate when Ron releases it tomorrow, I guess these will be the pools. And so I kind of want to look at the pools and look at each pool and ask you guys who you see coming out of it. And am I right, Matt, that only the number one team out of each pool is guaranteed top 6?
So it's pretty much I believe they used to use this format for StarCraft, and basically it kind of eliminates people throwing games in pool play. It makes every game in pool play important, because if you come in last in your pool, I believe you will start in championship bracket losers round 1, and kind of it works up towards there. The 4 teams that win their pool will pretty much go into the winners semis. You can look at it that way.
Jeez.
So yeah, I mean it added importance to all of those pool play matches, because we see sometimes at Gfinity where team wins 2 games in their pool, they're already out. Like, why are you gonna watch the next 2? I think this adds something to where every game pool play is important, and to be honest, the teams that win their pool should be rewarded for winning their pool. It shouldn't just be like, well, you have a higher seed and now you have to go through a whole nother double elimination bracket. Like, that's not. There's no real incentive to actually go out and win your pool. I think this adds, a big incentive to win your pool, because then you get double elim.
This guy in the chat says, "What is pool play?" I think he's been hanging out with Fatty. He's been drinking the same juice.
For real. I'm sorry. I'm not on the game today.
Pool play is swimming with pros.
It's where you go swim and you have those little floaties on your arms.
I want to hug that guy.
That's awesome.
I believe after pool play, I have to make sure. I have to go look at the what me and Chris have laid out. I think after pool play, it'll like the winners will. It's not going to be something where A is automatically playing like Alpha pool is automatically playing like the Delta pool. I think the 4 teams that make it out, we will look at their seeds, and the highest seed will play the lowest seed, and then the middle 2 play each other. So I think that's how it'll work. I know some people were asking about that as well. It's a better format. The pros wanted to play more matches. Like, they're definitely going to play more matches. The fans want to watch the pros play more matches. I think more matches, the more consistency creates, like, with results. So, I think it'll be good for everybody.
All right, so Alpha is Optic Nation, Curse, Most Wanted, and then an open bracket team, which, who knows?
Revenge.
There you go. So, who wins out of those 3 teams, Optic Nation, Curse, or Most Wanted?
Kella.
All right.
Single-handedly. Yeah.
I agree, 100%. Fatty?
Oh. I'll say what he said. All
right. Hitch. Optic Nation, Curse, or Most Wanted?
Optic Nation.
Okay. Yeah, I think we're all on the same page with that. Optic Nation, they have one of the easier pools, in my opinion. Bravo pool, Denial, Envy, Noble, and then an open bracket team. Fatty, Denial, Envy, or Noble?
Really depends on what Denial team shows up. I think Denial. I'm going to say Envy. No, Denial's going to take it.
It's a hard one, just because the last time you saw them both play on LAN, Denial beat them pretty bad.
Beat everybody.
Yeah, beat them pretty bad twice. I think Envy is actually the team that I feel most confident about going into this entire event. Like, they're the only team that I can actually get like a prediction on. Like, okay, they are playing well. Like, from watching them, everybody else, it's like, however they roll out of bed, it can change on a day. So I would say Envy. No, I think that's your safest bet.
I'm gonna say Envy as well, just because I think that Denial has not made the decision that they're gonna keep grinding even though they won. They almost seem like they have that complexity, EG type of swagger, but they haven't earned that yet. You know, complexity. They won so many events before they were like, we don't really have. I mean, it almost seemed. I'm going to say seemed. You know, from the inside, it seemed as if they knew everything. They knew the meta. They knew how other teams played from watching streams. They knew people's strats. They knew people knew their strats, and they didn't care. They still did it and outgunned everyone. And so I think Denial sees themselves in that same light. Like, we've won everything online that you've thrown at us. We won the last LAN. We're gonna walk into this event, and what is it that Denial CEO that Robbie said when he was on? They have delusional confidence, like, and that's what's gonna help them win. So I would say Envy as well, though, because I think it is delusional confidence. I don't think it's accurate confidence, and so I think Envy is gonna win as well. So Hitch, Denial, Envy, Noble.
Envy.
All right. So
same reasons. They're just really consistent. Yeah.
They are really consistent, and I
think the best player in Call of Duty right now. I'm just gonna say it.
You think so?
Yep, 100%.
And Destiny, as well.
EG is beating them right now.
Oh, they are.
Yeah, by only like 20 on Dom Octane. All right, so I can't refuse to watch both. You know, I'm watching my own show and them play at the same time.
You're on your own show. You're not watching your own. Well, you could be watching your own show and being on your own show and
watching them play at the same time. Yes.
So
Charlie, now this is one of the tougher ones in my opinion. EG, Optic Gaming, Rise, and an open bracket team. I'm going to start with Matt. Who is winning this pool?
Whoever wins EG against Optic Gaming.
So do you think Optic and EG both 2-0 the other two teams?
Yes.
Okay. So Rise on LAN is not Rise online, is what you're saying.
You know, I argue with Pac-Man every time I see him, and I'm like, dude, like, just place in the top, like, 8 once so I can pick you guys. But, like, they haven't, like, really, like, proven me, like, anything. Like, I love all those guys. I think they're great guys and they're great players, but they haven't shown me anything that makes me believe they can kind of pull it together against a team like that, a team like an Optic or a team like EG. So, whoever wins that match is definitely going to win that pool, the Optic EG match. I don't know. I mean, that would come down to vetoes and, you know, what happens with that.
Yeah. All right.
And that'll be a close one, but I mean, the winner of that.
Is it weird that I wish we'd get away from vetoes so it didn't come down to that?
Yes.
But that's kind of, that's a strategy in it, though.
I know there's a strategy in it, but I just feels like we see the same things.
I wish you could ban guns before you could ban maps.
How do you feel about a format that had set maps all the way up until grand finals, and the team that came out of winners in grand finals had veto power, and that was the only match that had veto power?
That would be awesome, because then it would matter if you actually went through.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a great idea. And I like Hitch's idea of banning guns, because what happens if you go around saying, let's ban the Vector?
Well, the Vector should have been banned a while ago, but
yeah. Well,
I think, though, wouldn't you change the meta per match? Like, is that what we want to see?
Yeah, like that's what I mean.
Like, if per match you change like what you like.
Well,
you
especially
can't use, you know, the Remington or something. You know,
that's what League does, right?
And I think that'd be awesome. Like this late in the stage, it would make it a lot more entertaining.
Yes.
But that's another story for another.
What's odd is that like pros love the veto system and like fans and everybody else hates
it. Yeah.
Well, we don't want to see. I remember one time I saw standoff search, standoff hardpoint, and standoff CTF. Yeah. I was like, come on, like people. If people are coming right into it, like, and just seeing the same maps over and over again, like, it's kind of, I don't know, it's kind of stale after a while.
Boring for a viewer to watch. That's why I think. I mean, pool play at Nashville will be vetoes, but I've kind of been toying with that idea. I just kind of said I thought, you know, at least. I mean, you give a pretty big advantage for like a veto power going into grand finals for the team, because to have to win 2 best-of-5s, that's like kind of like a crappy thing to go through. Like, okay, you came out of came out of winners. Like now I have to beat this team like twice, or I have like
Yeah.
2 opportunities, kind of. So maybe that would get better.
Another thing, if I give you $5, will you ban the vector for this next?
$5.
Yeah, just $5, just under the table. Nobody has to know about it.
If that type of ban were at my discretion, I would have banned it.
For $5 or just for free?
I would have banned it for my own sanity. Because I can't stand. Everyone has one.
It's so I'm like I don't know. I'm looking forward to Nashville for everything but the game.
It's so funny how people are, because at Champs everybody complained about MTAR steady aim, and then
now it's the vector.
MTAR steady aim went away. Now the vector came. Now everyone's like, oh, like the vector needs to go.
Bring
Like
back the steady aim.
I thought the game around Champs was probably the most exciting. It was really fast paced, like hit fire. Like I thought that was probably the best games to be in.
I agree. Speaking of $5, we got a donation from Joe.
Thank you, Joe.
Hey, thanks, Joe. Joe's the man. He was in the stream last night when I was playing NBA 2K11. And Joe,
Hey, 11, man, you're gearing up for 2K.
Wow.
I had like 13 people watching me play that game last night.
There